Good morning to one and all. And today's topic, it is a continuation of the previous one, which appears over here. It is economic development and planning chapter. Under that, early we studied that economic development. Now we are going to study about the little concept about the vicious circle of poverty, and connected with the vicious circle of poverty happening on supply side, demand side, and provision of solution or breaking of this vicious circle of poverty is yet another one. And with this we are coming to the end of this economic development over here. And the next level we are moving with the planning. Under the planning we will be having four major concepts under the planning. One, it is meaning of planning, and another one, it is types of planning, argument in favor of planning, arguments against planning, and finally Niti Ayuk. So these are the things totally covered in this chapter, economic development and planning. Now, at this morning, fresh hour, we are coming to that vicious circle of poverty. So what is this vicious circle of poverty? So it is a circular relation between economic activity. It is a circular relation between economic activity, and the activity is acting and reacting and leading to a very low level of development in a nation or economy. So it is a circular relationship of economic activity, or the different forces are acting, and the acting is reacting, leading to that of a very downward level, or we call it as low level of economic progress. That is vicious circle. And very particularly, as you come across this, the very beginning will be having low per capita income. Low per capita income. It is a total income of a nation divided by the population of the nation. We are arriving the per capita income. That per capita income, considering the other countries, the nation is happen to be lagging behind, or it is low. So per capita income is low. When the per capita income is low, it leads to low amount of saving potentiality, or otherwise called as a low level of demand. Low level of demand. So when there is a low saving and low level of demand, leading to low level of investment. Very little amount of investment. So when the investment level is on the decrease, that is leading to that of low production. Low production. So when there happens low production, it leads to the factors, those who are employed over here will get the reward. The real income is in the low level. When the real income is low, once again it is a low per capita income divided by population. So it will keep on moving inward. Keep on moving inwardly and towards a doomsday. That is low level of economic activity, we used to call it. So that is vicious circle. And that vicious circle is happening in two methodologies. One, it is on the supply side, and another one, it is on the demand side. And system is the same only. System is the same only. What we had in this circular nature of forces acting and reacting, leading to a downward level. The same thing, but it is we conveniently divide into one, it is supply side, and another one, it is demand side. So a little variation, and we keep our forces and importance applying the supply part of it, and another one we provide a demand part of it. Coming over to the supply side, low level of investment in the economy. Low level of investment in the economy, leading to low capital formation. Low capital formation. So when the formation of capital is low, and it leads to low production in the factor side only. So when low production, the amount engaged, it is over here, it is a low level of income. With low level of income received by the people, and low amount of saving potentiality, low amount of demand, and investment will be on the low level only. That is on the supply side. That is on the supply side. And moving over to the demand side, we will be having the real income is based on, real level of income is based on the demand condition of the people. When people are not having enough amount to have that purchasing ability, and the demand will be low. So when demand is low, what they are having, the money is low, demand is low, that will have a reaction upon this saving, and that reaction is happening upon the investment. What it is saved should automatically invested. Sometime it may be in a liquid form of cash. Whatever may be that what it is saved is invested and the level is low. When investment is low, actually and normally that production is also leading to a low condition. When production is low, it reflects upon that income part of the people, it is low condition. And once again, when people are receiving low income, they happen to demand less goods, and that will reflect upon less and everything, and finally we will be moving to that chaos and confusion, a poor and a poverty stricken nature. So that is about a vicious circle of poverty acting on supply side and the demand side. And how to solve this problem of vicious circle? Can we pour money within the economy? Can we pour money within the economy, whether it is a supply side, whether it is a demand side? Can we inject money upon any of this level, either in the investment level or boost this demand from the people by providing money in various schemes and everything? But as that we are providing an injection of money, and after the situation is reviving, how much quantum of money we have injected, that at a certain time we have to withdraw it. It's just like filling the tub and draining the tub in such a manner. And suppose if we are not withdrawing that amount, that will lead to inflationary part of it. So it is not an advisable one. But the better advisable one to avoid that vicious circle will be having balanced growth, the concept of balanced growth. So what is this balanced growth? So investment should happen in various industries simultaneously, and the people or the workers, those who are working in the industry, they will having leading to the production. When production is more, they will be having income more. When income more is the vicious circle is keep on doing that outward swing. Instead of inward swing, it will be having outward swing by relieving all the difficulties. That is the only situation. So balanced growth. So you must have a simultaneous or all-round development in the primary sector, secondary sector and the service sector all at once. எல்லா துறைகளிலுமே முதலீடு செய்து எல்லா துறைகளிலுமே சுழற்சி நடந்ததுன்னா இந்த வறுமை அப்படின்ற சுழற்சி மாற்றப்படும். That is the solution. Will be having balanced growth. சமமான ஒரு வளர்ச்சி எல்லா துறைகளிலும் ஏற்பட வேண்டும். So that is on the one concept we have come across fully well. Now we are moving to that of planning. Under that planning, the meaning of planning, types of planning, argument in favor of and argument against planning, and finally Niti Ayog. Niti Ayog, it is not possible today. Now we will be having two types only, that is planning and types of planning. What is planning and what is the types of planning? Now coming over to that planning, predetermined objectives, and you can relate it to that of economic activity. So the predetermined, well-defined, predetermined certain objectives that will be arranged in a systematic manner to meet a desirable end. Before executing it, we are finalizing everything. Before we are going to execute it, we are finalizing each and everything, and we are coming to a proper shape, and that we attributed towards planning. எந்த ஒரு செயல் செய்வதற்கு முன்னாடி என்னென்ன செய்ய போறோம் அப்படின்றத சிஸ்டமேட்டிக்கா நம்ம என்னென்ன செய்ய போறோம்ன்றத தெரிஞ்சு வச்சுக்கிட்டோம்னா அது எல்லாத்தையும் ஒரு ஆர்டர் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் செயல்பட ஆரம்பித்தால் நம்ம செய்யக்கூடிய வேலை சுலபமாகவும் எளிதாகவும் திறமையாகவும் செய்ய முடியும் அப்படின்றது தான் இந்த பிளானிங் அப்படின்ற வர்றது. So that is predetermined and well-defined objectives and targets, aims of that any of this economic activity. Well in advance, it is categorically arranged and they are to be implemented. That is your planning. Now, the planning is having different types of. These are the planning, and I have given everything in twos only. I have given the planning in twos only. First, it is democratic versus totalitarian. Democratic planning opposite to the totalitarian planning. Then centralized planning opposite to decentralized planning. Then direction planning versus inducement planning. Then indicative planning opposite to that of imperative planning. Financial planning opposite to that of physical planning. Functional planning opposite to structural planning. Comprehensive planning opposite to partial planning. And finally, short term, medium term and long term planning. So these are all the different types of planning. These are all the different types of planning. Now what is this? We'll move one by one. Democratic planning. It is people are the highest opinion over here. That final authority and highest authority in the democratic arrangement, the people. So people's opinion are associated in the formulation, preparation of the economic activity. And generally, they used to consult with one another. People used to consult and along with the private industries and as well as state authorities, they used to consult it. They will have a shape of what they are going to do. They will have a shape about what they are going to do. And that thing will be discussed in the democratic setup. We will be having the highest authorities vested with the people, but it is directed with a handful of a common authority, that is popularly we call government. And it is in the hands of the government or parliament. So when the parliament is approving what the people has formulated and they are about to execute it, sometimes they will approve it, sometimes they will reject it and they will reconsider. They will ask that the people or the association or the planning commission people to reconsider the same methodology of plan and suggest still more some measures and everything. So that is democratic people planning. It is mostly depend upon state government and allied with the people. And opposite to that we will be having totalitarian planning. So within the economy there happens only one single authority. That authority is a supreme authority. And that authority prepare each and every aspect. That authority prepare each and every authority. That is formulation, preparation, fixing of target and showing the direction and various schemes and all those things they will decide it. And in this people are not at all having any participation. It is only the authorities they are deciding, and what they decided they want to implement upon the people. So that is centralized work. We call it as centralized authority or centralized work with a supreme body. And within this body we will be having either a single person or a team of person and they are deciding. So it is democratic with a totalitarian. And this type of planning is happen in the communistic faction country. That is Russia and China. Next, centralized with the decentralized. Centralized planning. And this planning we used to call it as a planning from above. Planning from above. மேல இருந்து கீழ திட்டமிடுறது. அப்ப என்ன பண்றது? So the people, those who are in the planning level, they think themselves and they are not looking into that bottom level of the people. அப்ப ஒரு பொருளாதாரத்துல குறைந்த அல்லது தாழ்வான நிலை இருக்கக்கூடிய மக்களை பத்தியான ஒரு அவங்களுடைய அபிப்பிராயங்கள் என்னன்றதை பத்தி கணக்கில் எடுத்துக்காம மேல் போக்குல what they are intending they want to implement it. அதான் வருது இதுல centralized planning. A single central authority, they decide everything and they are not considering those who are at the lower level. So it is, that's why they call it as planning from above. மேட்டு குடி மக்கள் அவங்களுடைய லெவல்ல பார்த்து இது பண்ணிடுறது. And quite opposite to that we will be having decentralized. That is the same thing. It is a planning from below. Planning from below. So the local bodies, they have to decide how to solve their local problems. The local bodies has to decide what are the various schemes and methods that they can solve that local needs. From there to the hierarchy and the next level, state level. Then it is a planning from below. Decentralized. The powers are separated. Powers are separated in preparation and formulation, execution and showing direction and fixing of schemes and everything. And then next it is direction versus inducement. The same thing, only central body. Under direction, each and every planning tools are directed by the central authority and the common authority towards the fulfillment of execution of the plan. Quite opposite that people inducement, people act on certain policy matters. So people should have some interest upon certain policy matters, and that will be coming over here. It is with the monetary policy or physical policy. Then will be coming in inductive planning. So what we had earlier, mixed economy, presence of private sector and a public sector cooperate with one another. Here under indicative, public sector with the authority, common authority, they prepare the plan, and the prepared plan will be provided to the individual private sector, and they will analyze and discuss it, and they will provide suggestion. Then finally they will come to a shape in the execution of the planning. That is inductive planning. And imperative planning, quite opposite to that. Instead of providing a little consideration and importance to the private sector is not at all considered. Only the government sector and the state government or the central government is considered, and they prepare the plan. They prepare the plan, objective, target, schemes, directions, implementation and everything. It is in the hands of the state government only or the local institutions only. That is imperative planning. And then financial planning. So in the economy, the entire resources for the execution of the plan is provided with the supply of money. பணத்தை கொடுத்துறது மற்றது எதுவுமே செய்யறதில்ல. என்ன செய்ய போறோமா, பணத்தை கொடுத்துட்டு நாங்க பாத்துக்கிறோம். How they are going to spend, it is not that authority, those who are issuing the money, they have to question it. How much it is fund you want, that fund you can make use of it, that's all. So money is provided for the allocation of execution of the plan, that is financial. And opposite to that, physical. Instead of providing that lump sum of money for carrying on that, they used to provide, that is, they supply, either the government or the local authority, they will supply the men, they will supply the material and the related machinery, and they will keep control of the issuing authority of money, the payments. For those who are involved in this, the payment is decided, and that the government will issue the money concept of it. So control of money in the hands of the government, but the related other resources in the hands of the physical nature. Men, material and machinery is supplied, that is physical. And functional. Under functional we will be having, only one term will be having, remove the economic difficulties within the economy. அப்ப பொருளாதாரத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பொருளாதார தடைகளை சரி செய்வதற்காக வரக்கூடிய ஒரு திட்டம். That is functional. Remove the economic difficulties of an economy part of it is functional planning. And structural changes. And structural changes happen in social framework. அப்ப மக்கள் மத்தியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அடிப்படை கட்டமைப்புகள் மாற்றப்பட வேண்டும். The infrastructural facilities, மக்கள் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு சில சௌகரியங்கள், the welfare and happiness, that has to be changed for a betterment, that is structural. Then comprehensive. Major issues of the economy. The plan is directed towards the major issues. Though we are having so many problems, but of this, which is very major one. Now at this situation, the major one, how to control the disease part of it. Okay, and partial. Some important sector will be given consideration. For the development and fulfillment of the planning. So, my dear students, I like to share only one thing. And already you have written the test. And the test, you are looking upon some of the material and everything, but you are not reading from the book. But give concentration and consideration to the book. From the book only, those who are correcting your paper in the board examination, they will be selecting the key. So try to read your book, and along with you can do any sort of material and guide, and you can write. So when you are writing, write to the fullest extent. Suppose some 7 points are there for a question, and you are writing only 3 points and 4 points, and the 3 points you are relating, and you will be getting very less amount of mark only. So at this stage, give importance to the textbook reading, and from the textbook only, the examine setter and those who are correcting your paper will be given the key from the book only. So give importance to your book, and then only to all the secondary materials and everything. Thank you so much.